Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City. In the last update, we got the raised platform all started, and I'm going to start this episode off by continuing the water down the end here and the brick wall that goes along there. So let's get to that, and then once we've done that, we'll decide where we're working next. And that's that section all done for the time being. As you can see, the water goes all the way along. The brick wall is also all there. Filler plate along the top ready to be tiled, and then we're ready for the fascia to go on that section just there. I'll start doing the fascia once I know what I'm going to be doing on this entire section. I'm not sure as of yet what colour I'm going to be doing it. And once I've decided that, then I'll make the decision on how that back part of it looks. Next up, I'm going to be working on this 48 by 48 base plate. Obviously, the water is going to continue all the way around here and join up to the water outside Arkham. This is where the entrance to the underground car park is going to be, and there's going to be a road that's going to be going along here, which is going to be 18 studs in width. And the reason I'm going for 18 studs is that should be just about perfect for 6 stud wide vehicles, which is what I'm going to be having in the city. I want to try and keep the roads to a minimum, just purely so I can fit as many buildings as possible in there. So let's take this base plate over to the table and let's get started on the mill side of it and the water and work out exactly what's going where. And there's a base plate all in place, and as you can see, I've started the wall all the way around the edge there, and I've put a second wall in there as well, so the road will come up hard against that wall. And I may possibly put a pathway going along there which will then lead to the waterfront along here. I haven't plated this bit off yet here because I need to find some more masonry bricks to go on that side of it there. And there will also be a walkway along that edge as well. So I don't necessarily need this one on here. However, I have allowed for 4 studs on each side of the road. Now that section's all done, I'm going to turn my attention back up to the docks area here. And I'd like to make a few of the details to go along here, have a look at modifying the cranes and possibly tile off this section as well. So let's make a start on that and we'll check back in once we've made some progress. And I'm wanting to make some containers for the docks area, and I've got some of the 2x6 dark orange plates, and we're just putting 7 of those in a row and joining up using another couple of those. We've then got some of these panel pieces which look like the side of a container, and we're just putting those all the way around the edge. So if we do that part next. And then to hold everything in place, again, we're just putting small plates on the top of this, like so. And here we have the container, and really simple design, but quite effective. I think it does the job quite nicely. Would be nice to put some grey bars down the end here, just to, like you would get for the handles and whatnot on there, and also to tile some of the top off, but I don't actually have any of the dark orange tiles at the moment. It would be nice to have these a little bit longer, however, due to the size of the docks, I think this is probably the perfect size. And I've got enough of these panels to make 3 in dark orange and 1 in black. So let's get the rest of those made up, and then we can put those in the docks once we've got it finished. Here is the first attempt at the tiling of the docks area, and as you can see, I've used the 6x6, 2x4 and 2x2 tiles, put them in a pattern. And as much as I like it, I think this tile pattern is more for an area which is well kept, basically, and the docks is all run down, as you can see by the brickwork here at the front. So I think I need to change this to give it a more weathered feel. Now, there is a channel called The Roaring Bricks, and I put a link to their channel in the description below, and it's well worthwhile checking their channel out. They're doing a 1920 city, and in their docks, they've got a runner that goes along the front, and the crane can move along there. And it's a really good design. So I'm going to try and implement a very similar thing to my docks here, because I think it will look pretty good. Now the parts they've used are the rail tracks that you see attached to the front of the back of the Daily Bugle set. Now with those, they are 2 plates thick or 2 plates high. So what I would need to do if I want to keep this at this level here is I'm going to need to lower the front section here by an extra plate just so I can make it flush with that. So I'm going to dismantle this, the tile and the plate at the front here, lower it down by a part, put the tracks in, and then I'm going to try and get as much detail as possible to the tiling on the top here. And that's going to be things like cracks, a couple of puddles maybe, and just the odd stud sticking up just to break up all of the smoothness on there. So let's get dismantling and see what we create. And here we have the revised docks area. So I've lowered this by 1 plate, as you can see on there, put an extra row of plates on the edge just here. Now these are the rail parts that we're using. There'll be 2 side by side, and then the wheel will fit in between the 2 of them. So they'll just go down like so, and then I'll tile either side of this, and then that will all be flush along there, apart from the grooves for the wheels to sit in. So let's get this all tiled off, see how it looks, and if it's looks like it's going to be a winner, we'll do the other 2 sections in the same style. And there it is, the rails have been put in on the front, and as you can see the tiles all flush with the tiles just there. Put the occasional stud in and a couple of different accent colours in there just to break it up a little bit, and the dark trans tiles there, they're just purely to represent a few splashes of water on the docks area. Really pleased with how that's come out, so I'm going to do the same for the other 2 sections, put them all together and see how it looks. And here are the 3 sections of dock all completed. Really happy with how the look of that is coming on. I feel like having the cut plates in or cut tiles in here and the studs just breaks up the tile effect that little bit. And the trans clear black tiles, again, they're just to represent there's some water that's splashed up onto the dock. The 4 containers there, I'm going to add a few more details, so that there's some bars going down on the doors like you'd expect, and handles and things like that if I can. I did run out of these panels here, hence it's all smooth on the end as opposed to the same effect that we've got on that one there. But really pleased with the overall look of it. What I need to do now is work on the base plates that go behind here. So that's going to be the Ace Chemicals and the warehouse, as that's where the next runner is going to be. Next up, I'm going to be working on the warehouse here, and I've never been 100% happy with this building. Due to now having the runner in the front, I need to have another one raised up at the back here. I'm going to have to address this section just here because the chimney's going to be in the way. However, this building needs to go back possibly by about 4 bricks and lowered maybe a little bit at the front, ready for the runner. I need to adjust the height because it's currently 1 plate too high. So let's get this base plate over to the table and let's start seeing what we can do with it. And that's the warehouse all destroyed, and as you can see I've made a start on the mills plate at the bottom here. I've shrunk the road section at the back of that. That's been shrunk by about 6 studs, I think it is. So it's enabled me to build the warehouse further back. Due to the fact that I needed to adjust the height by 1 brick as well, it was just going to be so much easier just to start again. But at least I know I've got all the bricks available here that I need for it, so it should make the process a lot quicker. So let's finish this mills plate off and get it all built back up to the correct height, and then we can start on the building itself. So let's do it. And here we have our latest warehouse, and much happier with the look of this. Still need to put some stairs going up the side here, whether they're going up this way or that way, not sure yet. Possibly that way, as I'll be able to put them over the door and it won't cause too much of a problem. The roof is removable and I've tiled the inside of that, so that's all good. There are still a couple of studs worth I do need to finish off, just need to find some more tiles out. The size of this building has changed so much. I've been extending it, shrinking it in sort of like depth so many times whilst making it. But much happier with the look of this one compared with the previous one. I'm preferring the numbers being tiled on the outside as opposed to being like brick built, indented into the wall sort of thing. But yeah, there it is. So yeah, we just need to work on the stairs on there, then do the building on the top, and then we'll be good to go with that. Next up, I want to make a crane mechanism that's going to be able to go along the runner here, so it'll go up and then go across to the top, and then there'll be another runner across the top there eventually. So let's start working on that and we'll check back in once we've done so. And after several hours I've finally managed to get the crane mechanism all working, and the biggest problem I've had is getting the wheels, something to connect them to here, so that the studs were lining up correctly, or it wasn't too wide, should I say, with that. Now at the moment there are 3 wide axles in the wheels at the bottom there. I will change those over once I get some 2 wide ones. It'd also be nice to lose the red there and get that black as well. But it's quite a simple technique, so it will just run along here. Now what I need to do is put some more runners on the far side here and some more wheels, and then that will help it run along here, and the runner will go all the way along to around about where the chimney is. So the crane can slide along here, and then obviously it can also rotate. And as I mentioned earlier, this has heavily been inspired by the Roaring Bricks crane on his, sort of like the technique of it being up and across like that. So I need to build another one of these. However, the runner parts in here, I know I've got a whole load of them somewhere. I just need to find those out. But that's as far as I can actually go with that part. I have made the second one of these up, so that's all good to go. And what I also need to do is work on this base plate. At the moment, this is 1 stud too high, or 1 plate too high, should I say. But I also need to put something where I can attach the fence to it, and I want to carry on with those. Now, these grey sort of cross things here, I've only got, I think, 3 of those left. I've got a whole load in yellow. I've got about 10 of them in yellow, so I might just use some yellow ones just for the time being, just so I can get it all put together and see what it looks like, and then replace them afterwards. But yeah, really happy with how this is all looking so far. And just checking in one final time for this update, and as you can see, we've got the runner all the way along the building there. The chimney, that's been moved back by 2 studs, so I've actually had to put the plates further actually into the chemical plant, which wasn't too big a deal. The ones down the bottom I had to lose because there was something behind there where it was getting in the way basically. So this one was fine. There was a gap for it to go in, so that's all good. What it did mean is one of the vats down the bottom, I had to lose that. Now down here we've just used some 2x2 bricks and some plates just to give it an effect on there, just to get that up to the same height as the ones that we already had along there. I will be putting some more details along here, a fence of some description. So at the moment you've got a walkway, which obviously people could just fall straight off into the docks or get in and out of the docks through that way. And again, I still need to put a fence of some description along there as well. Now with these crane parts here, I do need to put something on the top of here, because at the moment I feel like it would topple over if there was any weight on the crane. This one here I've got to do a lot of work on. I've just knocked something up together here that looks similar to that, just so I can put the 2 in so you can visualise what it's going to look like once it's all done. But it'd be quite good when these cranes can go along. On the bottom here, originally I did have 2 of these rails because I thought the wheel was going to go in between it, but it turned out that the wheel just went on top of one, so I could lose the other rail, which is pretty good. So it just meant more of the tiling on there. Still, I do all the work around the back there and a lot of tiling. I want to carry on working on this building before the next update, so we can get the doors put in on the warehouse there, and also try and get the Falcone sign on top of the building, as well as the office, which will be there along with the steps going up. So there's plenty more we can crack on with. With these containers, again, still need to do the final details on there, like the little bars that go up on the where the doors would be and things like that. But yeah, overall, happy with how much progress we managed to get done this week. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. The next city update will be on Saturday and Mandalore starts on Monday. Anyway, thanks for walking by. See you next time. Bye for now.